I'm Thomas Porteous and you're watching NewsX World. We have breaking news coming in now. Hundreds of people have been injured after a massive explosion rocked Shahid Rajaee port near Bandar Abbas in southern Iran. We are showing you the visuals of that right now. Officials say at least 516 people were injured during the blast, which triggered a major fire at the country's largest commercial port. Dramatic footage broadcasted by state television showed thick black smoke and flames rising high above the port facility. Authorities confirmed the explosion took place in the Sina container yard, an area linked to Iran's ports and maritime organization. Early reports suggest negligence in the storage of flammable materials may have caused the disaster. Emergency teams quickly transferred to the injured to local hospitals as crisis management officials warned of ongoing safety risks. The port, located more than 1,000 kilometers south of Tehran, remains a crucial hub for Iran's container shipping. We are joined by Professor Rohan Gunaratne, Middle East expert, to discuss this further. Rohan, thank you very much for joining us. Can I get your immediate reaction to these compelling visuals of this blast that has just happened in this significant port city in Iran?
The vessel was carrying 24 containers of sodium perchlorate, and that is the material used for the solid fuel ballistic missiles. The ship sailed from Shanghai and without a military escort. So what is important is that this particular explosion deserves a full investigation. In addition to the lives lost, whether the material that was being transported was going to build Iran's capabilities that would pose a bigger threat to the region and beyond.
Professor Rohan Gunaratne, this is the second incident that has happened to this port, previous one being a cyber attack in the year of 2020. Where allegedly Israel was involved. How does this incident compare to the previous industrial accidents in Iran? And why is this port so important to be targeted?
Because at this point, Iran is accelerating its fissile and missile programs. And I believe that because of the urgency for Iran to develop these capabilities, including enrichment and weaponization, that they are making a number of mistakes. They are not careful. And as a result, this incident took place. But certainly, this matter must be investigated at an international level to see whether Iran was in compliance with the sanctions regime.
Yes. And Professor Gunaratne, obviously this comes as a backdrop for the Iran-US talks that are currently going on in Oman. How will this affect Iran's weapons capabilities, this explosion?
It will affect Iran significantly. But again, Iran will continue to build their fissile and missile capabilities. Even if there is a resolution, there is some kind of agreement in Oman, I still believe that Iran will persist in its programs to develop military capabilities to fight its enemies and any country that is posing a threat to them. So that is why I think that there should be a dialogue. That Oman meeting is so important. But I think that what happened today in the port is a very clear demonstration why this dialogue should be continued.
Yes, Professor Gunaratne, this Shahid port is strategically located near the Strait of Hormuz, through which a significant portion of the world's oil passes. Given the port's proximity to the Strait of Hormuz, what potential risks does this explosion pose to global oil trade and regional stability?
The global trade has suffered very significantly because of the developments in and around the Arabian Sea, Persian Sea. But I think that, and the Red Sea, but I think that there should be more dialogue and more logic and reason and rationale on the part of international actors. But that itself may not produce the desired results. That is why the Americans have moved huge military capabilities to the region. And this incident is a message to Iran that Iran should not be moving in this direction, because this also endangers shipping, commercial shipping.
Yes, Professor Gunaratne, this is obviously the Americans are going to be looking at this during their talks. What are they going to be thinking?
Firstly, is China providing Iran the precursors to build capabilities, and what they are, and what is the reason for doing so, and what further measures the United States will take. But what is important to understand is that Iran is determined to fight back. Iran is determined to build its capabilities. This explosion clearly demonstrates that Iran will not back up. Iran will not go back on the fissile and missile programs that it has started. I mean to say, there are so much of efforts by the Israelis and by other countries to stifle Iran's program, but Iran is persistent in its endeavor to build these capabilities. But this loss of lives certainly will be a shock. It will be also, there'll be so much of protests inside Iran of what is going to happen. The regime itself will be under, the Iranian regime itself will be under threat. Yes.
Rohan, obviously it's best not to speculate as we have limited information currently, but this explosion, will this have any benefit to any countries?
No, it will only create insecurity, instability. It will create fear. I think that there will be a greater discussion between governments and the shipping agencies with regard to the safety and security of that entire region. And I want to say that it's not only the threat in the Arabian Sea, and but I think there will be maritime shipping itself will come under close review as a result of this incident.
Yes, and what do you think the potential long-term economic repercussions for Iran if the port remains non-operational due to this incident?
Iran will certainly, Iran's economy is doing very badly, but Iran will survive. But certainly Iran's economy will further decline. And I think that this is the time for there to be a reflection on the part of the Iranian leadership, whether this is the direction they want to move.
Yes. And what does this incident reveal about Iran's safety measures that they put in, the emergency response? We've had so far we've had no reports of any casualties. Do you expect that number to rise given the images that are coming out of this region today?
Very much. I have examined visually, I have examined the footage and the photographs, and I think that fatalities and casualties, fatalities and injuries will rise. Certainly Iran doesn't have the same capabilities as the Western nations to respond to a disaster like this. So I think that any country that can advise and assist Iran during this period should do so. But what is important is a full-scale investigation into what the vessel was carrying and why it was carrying and whether proper protocols and procedures were followed.
Yes, and who are those allies that that are most likely to help Iran in a disaster like this? Just to get a better understanding of the geopolitical implications and some of the reactions that some of Iran's allies might have in regard to this disaster.
China, Russia, Pakistan certainly will help Iran. I think the humanitarian side of this disaster, because of it's a humanitarian disaster primarily, in the first place, there will be other countries also that will help Iran.
Yes, and the economic implications of this are obviously going to be severe. 80 million tons of goods annually make it through this port city that has been attacked previously. This is the country's largest commercial port. What implications, both short-term and long-term, will this have on the economic state of Iran?
Iran's economy has been steadfastly going down, and this incident will again be another shock, another blow to Iran. And of course, Iran will have to work hard to turn that around.
Yes. Rohan Gunaratne, please stay with us. If you are just joining us, we are covering the recent explosion that has happened in the Shahid Rajaee port near Bandar Abbas in the south of the country. As you can see the visuals that are playing now, you can see black smoke billowing throughout the